Hello students, you're welcome to Nunia Sir's English classes. Today we'll study second chapter of grade 12 entitled Lost Spring. The chapter is written by Anis Jung, who is an Indian author, and this chapter is divided into two parts. The first half focuses on the plight of the rag pickers in Seemapuri, and the second half centers around the bad condition of bangle makers in Firozpur. In this video, we'll study exclusively just first half of the chapter. To begin with, let's see the study points. So we'll talk about the author, introduction of the chapter, episodic explanation, and illustration and examples. First, we'll look into the life of the author, that is Anis Jung. The lady in the picture is Anis Jung. She was born in 1944 in Rourkela, Orissa, India. She is Indian, and by profession she is a writer, journalist, and a columnist. She writes columns for the Indian as well as the foreign newspapers. And her book Unveiling India made her a very popular author. Anis Jung's Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood. This is the title of his book, which got published in 2005. And this book focuses on the children from the deprived backgrounds, the families who are economically very backward. And the book also includes the stories of Idris. This is the name of a Muslim child, young child, who was kidnapped and he was forced to work in a carpet industry in Mirzapur. Others are maltreated, other young children, just like Idris. There are hundreds of thousands of the young children who face the same situation, who fall victim in the hand of the people who use them as child labor and exploit them very badly. And not only by the people, rather their alcoholic fathers, because they come from a very deprived backgrounds, very poor family background, where especially the male beings, the parents, fathers, uncles, they have adopted very wrong habits. They have just fallen into the trap of the addiction. And if the family head is addicted, obviously the whole family will have to suffer very badly. So where alcoholic parents, especially the fathers, they either marry off their children at a very young age, and many times these young children are sexually abused also. So we can see the plight of their life. Though there are some lucky children who get opportunity to go into the schools which are being run by some NGOs. Talking about this chapter and the first half of this chapter, this describes the pitiable condition of the poor children who have been forced to miss the joy of childhood due to the socio-economic condition that prevails in this man-made world. And these children, the young children, they are denied the opportunity. They are not given the opportunity of going to school, and they are forced to labor early in life. They are forced to do the child labor. In this chapter, the author analyzes the grinding poverty. She's talking about the grinding poverty and the traditions which condemn these children, the traditions which force and compel these children to the life of exploitation. They are exploited brutally and inhumanly. Now we'll see the key vocabulary of the chapter, which is given just before the chapter, and it is important to understand and learn these phrases and words which will enhance the level of our language too. Looking for, searching, slog their daylight hours. Slog hour means to work very hard. These children, they do very hard work throughout the day. They work like an ox. Roof over his head. His over is the central character. She is talking about Sahib Alam, who is the central character of this first half of the story. So they are having roof over their head, means they have houses. But those houses and their conditions, we can easily imagine what type of the condition can be there. They are very small structures of mud, perpetual state of poverty, and the community of rag pickers suffer from a perpetual state of poverty. Continuously they are suffering, perpetual, continuous. Their forefathers were poor, their parents are poor, and they themselves have started the same rut of the life. Dark hutments. The houses they are living in, they are not more than the dark hutments. Hutments, very small structures. And why they are dark? Because they are not well electrified. They are not properly electrified and impose the baggage on the child. The circumstances in their lives forced these children to become the rag pickers. The central character of this first half of the story is Sahib-e-Alam, and he is a young rag picker. His family migrated from Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, long back in 1971. They migrated from Dhaka to Delhi. And why they migrated? Because a very heavy and strong storm, that is natural disaster, hit their fields as well as their houses. So their houses and their crops, they were completely destroyed by that heavy storm. So they did not have any means of survival left with them. So they thought of earning 2 times meal. In hope of getting some job, they shifted from Dhaka to Delhi. And after reaching over there, they settled at a place which is known as Seemapuri. They were not the skilled people, they were not educated also. So they started rag picking as their profession, as their job. Author's encounter with the young rag pickers. Anis Jung used to walk down that street frequently, and very frequently she used to meet some faces which became very familiar with the passage of time. Then one day she asked the young child, who is Sahib-e-Alam, the central character and the hero of this first half of the story, the reason of not going to school. And the child replied that there was no school in his locality, that's why he is not able to go to school. At this, the author, in a very light and kidding mood, she says that, suppose I open a school, would you love to come to my school? This was a fun at the part of the author, but the child took it to be the truth. His eyes lit up, his face brightened with happiness, and he said that, yes, I would love to come to your school. After this incident, there was an interval of some, 5-6 days or so. After some time, when this young child sees Anis Jung, the author, he goes to the author runningly and asks, is your school ready? At this, the author realizes her folly. She understood that whatever I said, this child took to his heart. To me, it was just a joke, just a kidding. But for this child, my words were just truth, nothing else. And this imagination, this thought gave Anis Jung a lot of pain. Then she tells us that such type of the promises abound in the dark life of these young children. Whosoever comes and meets them makes some promises which are never fulfilled, and later on these young children suffer a lot. Why? It gives them a lot of pain when somebody makes promises but doesn't fulfill them. Sahib-e-Alam and other rag pickers, because there was a group of the young children who used to come from the same place, and after rag picking used to go back to their homes. So the whole team was there, the group was there. So they always come out from their hutments in the morning, they do the rag picking, and by noon they finish their job and go back to their homes. They roam in the streets, they wander here and there in the search of heaps of garbages, barefoot. They do not have chappals to wear, they do not have sandals or shoes to wear. When Anizan asks them, why you people are not wearing chappals, all the children came out with different answers, and those answers she knew were just excuses, nothing else. One child said that I have chappals, but I am not in habit of wearing chappals. Another said that mother doesn't give me chappals because they are kept on a high slab. But out of those children, one was the youngest one and the most innocent also. He came forward and said, I don't have chappal, I want to wear. He was the true one. Now she tells about the episode of Udipi. She says that once a man told her the story of this Udipi. Many years back, there was a priest in a temple in Udipi, and his son, whenever he used to go to school, the temple was on the way only. He used to go inside the temple, bowed his head in front of the goddess inside the temple, and wished and demanded a pair of shoes and socks. But now Enizang says that that temple has drowned in the air of isolation, or you can say the desolation. Means earlier it was very popular among the people. People used to go over there in great number and worship over there. But now people do not go in that great number. So it has drowned in the air of desolation. The temple has become an isolated place nowadays. But there is a new priest over there, and his son is enjoying all the facilities. With this story, Anizan tries to create a contrast between the life of the priest in old days and the life of the priest in modern time. And we find that their living standard has upgraded definitely. Some changes have happened in the lives of the priest people also. Then she says, young boys like the son of priest now wore shoes, but many others like the rag pickers in my neighborhood remain shoeless. Means she wants to bring out one idea home, that with the passage of time, almost every section of the society has changed. If nothing has changed, then that is the life of Seemapuri people. They were poor earlier, they are poor now. They struggled a lot for survival in past, and they are struggling a lot for survival now also, today also. Seemapuri. What is the condition of Seemapuri? So Seemapuri is located on the periphery of Delhi, outer part. It is the outer part of Delhi, yet miles away from it metaphorically. This is very much important, students. You must take it down in your notes also, because many times a question is framed over this statement. How it can be metaphorically away? By the way, Seemapuri is an integral part of Delhi. So we can say geographically both are attached. Both are almost same the one. But in terms of development, Delhi is far more advanced than Seemapuri. With every passing day, Delhi is growing economically, educationally, socially, and in all other terms also. But Seemapuri seems to be static in all these areas. No educational improvement, no social improvement, no economical improvement is visible in the lives of the people residing over there. That's why it is said that Seemapuri is located at the periphery of Delhi, yet it is miles away metaphorically. Earlier, Seemapuri was a wilderness. Wilderness is a place where human population is not living. But now it has become a home for around 10,000 people. And these 10,000 people are the migrants from Dhaka, Bangladesh. They are the squatters, means they are residing on this piece of land without the permission, legal permission of government. And they shifted from Bangladesh in 1971 there. So the houses of these people are constructed with the help of the mud and they are roofed with the tin and tarpaulin. Seemapuri is devoid of every type of the facility. There is no sewage, no sewer system is there, no water drainage system is there. So we can understand when a rainy season is there, or when some overflow of the water is there, what can be the situation of the streets over there. We can easily imagine. Rag picking is the main job of the people in Seemapuri, and it has acquired the proportions of fine art. Student, this is also very much important. You can just underline this part, or you can take it down in your notes also. Why this rag picking is compared to fine art? What is the job of fine art? Fine art is a mean of beautification. So how rag picking is the mean of beautification? Because rag pickers pick up the valuable things from the garbage heap. They are not cleaning streets completely, but whatever valuable they find out of the garbage heaps, they pick it up and make the things a little cleaner. Not, if not completely, a little. That's why rag picking has been compared to this fine art. Garbage to them is gold. Gold, this is metaphorical statement, by the way. Gold over here means valuable. Heaps of garbage are not less than mines of gold for the rag pickers, because they get some valuable things like metallic bits are there, then some plastic, some rubber items and items specially. So they pick up things made up of rubber, plastic and metal. They collect and they sell, and in return they get some money, and that money is very dear to them, very precious to them. That's why it is called gold. Heaps of garbage are called gold for them, to them. It is their daily bread also, and this is the means of their survival also. Sahib Alam and his new job. After some interval, when Anis Jung meets Sahib Alam in street, she found the child in a different getup. That day he was not having his garbage bag. Rather, he was having a little kettle containing milk in it, or containing tea in it. She asked, and the child replied that he had joined a tea stall. He had left his traditional job of rag picking, and he had joined a tea stall as an attendant over there. He told that now he was being paid 800 rupees per month, and all his meals were free. Garbage was replaced. Actually, garbage bag was replaced. Bag is missing over here. Garbage bag was replaced with the steel canister. And steel canister, though smaller and lighter than the garbage bag, but seemed heavier in weight. Why heavier in weight? In reality, the canister, that kettle, was not heavier than the bag, but it seemed and appeared. Why? Because when Sahib Alam was picking up rags, he was a rag picker. He was the master of his own. He used to work according to his own will and wish, but now he is working under the control of his boss. Somebody is there over his head who controls him, who guides him, who forces him to work in a certain way. And this is a type of slavery for the child. And slavery is heavier than any burden on this earth. That's why it is said that the canister appears to be, seems to be, feels to be heavier than the garbage bag. The bag was his. The canister belongs to the man who owns the tea shop. Sahib is no longer his own master. And the loss of freedom has become a great burden on his mind, on his heart, and on his soul also. So students, this was the first half of the chapter. I hope you got the gist and the final points and aspects of the chapter. Now I'll see you very soon with the next video of the next half of this chapter. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.